In the previous lecture, we have studied about the drugs acting on the nervous system, which involves so we were studying about the salicylates. So now look at just look. Let us look at the adverse effects of the salicylates. So students, the salicylates cause gastrointestinal disturbance like nausea, vomiting, ulceration, and perforation and gastric hemorrhage. So they also cause bone marrow depression, leading to aplastic anemia, agranulocytosis, and intolerance leads to rash urticaria. So in large doses, salicylism is developed, characterized by lethargy, confusion, tinnitus, and hearing loss, headache. So as salicylates increase breakdown of fatty acids, there is fatty infiltration of liver and kidneys. So student, what are the uses of the salicylates? They act as an antipyretic in case of fever, as an analgesic used to alleviate mild to moderate pain. So they are used as an anti-rheumatic drug. So they use locally as fungistatic, keratolytic, and antiseptic. So methyl salicylate and salicylic acid, they are used in ointment for local application to skin. So in case of salicylate, first one is aspirin. So aspirin is an odorless, colorless white crystalline powder with slight acid taste. So it is soluble in water. So aspirin is used in the treatment of acute and chronic rheumatoid arthritis. So aspirin should not be given to children under 1 year age except medical under medical supervision. So if under some circumstances it is must to be administered. So aspirin should not be administered in combination with anticoagulant drug. So it may increase risk of hemorrhage, and aspirin increases toxicity of methotrexate, reduces uricosuric action of probenecid. With aspirin, platelet activation is a key step in acute arterial thrombosis. So next is mechanism of action. So aspirin decreases platelet aggregation. It blocks pain impulses in central nervous system. So the antipyretic action is resulted by vasodilation of peripheral vessels. So it also inhibits prostaglandin synthesis. So next is pharmacokinetics. Early onset of action is 15 to 30 minutes. Peak concentration will reach in about 1 to 2 hours during 4 to 6 hours. They are metabolized by liver, excreted by kidneys, crosses placenta. They are excreted in breast milk, and plasma half-life is 2 to 4 hours. So what are the contraindications? Hypersensitivity to salicylates, gastrointestinal bleeding, pregnancy, lactation, peptic ulcers, asthma, liver disease. So what are the drug interactions of the salicylates? Antacids, urinary alkalizers, and the steroids decreases the effect of aspirin. So they are toxic with sulfonamides, furosemide. So there is a decrease in blood sugar level by salicylates. So next is para-aminophenol derivatives. So in case of para-aminophenol derivatives, first one is paracetamol. So paracetamol belongs to group of para-aminophenol derivatives. So it has an analgesic and antipyretic action. So it does not have any anti-inflammatory and uricosuric effects. So it produces mild drowsiness and impairment of concentration. So paracetamol is used as an antipyretic drug as well as analgesic drug. So Paracetamol is a white crystalline powder which is odorless and it is having bitter taste. So it is soluble in water, and in small doses paracetamol is rapidly and completely absorbed, whereas absorption of higher doses varies. So it is also known as acetaminophen. So it does not stimulate respiration and does not alter acid base balance. So what is the pharmacokinetics of the paracetamol? So onset of action is 10 to 30 minutes and peak concentration is about 1 to 2 hours and duration of action is 3 to 4 hours. So plasma half-life is 4 to 5 hours and it crosses placenta, excreted in breast milk and excreted in urine. So next is side effects: vomiting, nausea, hepatotoxicity, rash, urticaria, angioedema, drowsiness, anaphylaxis, cyanosis, anemia, jaundice, convulsions, coma, death, and purpura. So next is drug interaction. So paracetamol with alcohol, there are increased chances of hepatotoxicity. So the effect of chloramphenicol is increased. Also, there will be severe hypothermia with phenothiazines. So contraindications are hypersensitivity, alcohol, and saccharin. Third class is pyrazolone derivatives, in which we will study about the phenylbutazone. So students, phenylbutazone is administered by oral and as well as parental route. So it is well absorbed orally. So the phenylbutazone is a drug which is highly plasma protein bound. So the rate of plasma protein binding is more in case of phenylbutazone. And also this drug is converted into its active metabolite, which is also called as oxyphenbutazone, by the process of oxidation in the liver. But the phenylbutazone has a less antipyretic and analgesic action when it is compared with the salicylates. So students, there are also some side effects of the phenylbutazone, which are: it is having an uricosuric action, and it also has an sodium retention effect. So phenylbutazone also blocks iodine uptake by thyroid, and number of other intracellular enzymes processes, so due to which edema is developed. So rashes, mouth ulceration, and GIT upset, hematasis and melena, nephrotoxicity, and bone marrow depressions. There are some side effects of the phenylbutazone. So students, next class is ethanoic acid derivatives, and in which we will study about the mefenamic acid. So the mefenamic acid is a derivative of ethanoic acid. So it has a weak anti-inflammatory effect. So mefenamic acid exerts peripheral as well as central analgesic action. So it is used as an antipyretic, analgesic, and anti-inflammatory drug. So next is pharmacokinetics. Orally absorption is slow. It is metabolized by liver, excreted in urine. Plasma half-life is 2 to 4 hours. So uses of mefenamic acids, or you can say it is used in the conditions like soft tissue pain, myalgia, joint pain, antipyretic, dysmenorrhea, osteoarthritis, and rheumatoid arthritis. So next is side effects. So diarrhea, epigastric, skin rashes, hemolytic anemia, dizziness, and hemolytic anemia. So these are the side effects of the mefenamic acid. So also next is drug interactions. So it has an increased effect of oral anticoagulants, and in case of contraindications are hypersensitivity, epilepsy, pregnancy, and lactation. So next class is aryl acetic acid derivatives. So drugs. The aryl acetic derivatives includes the following: diclofenac sodium. So diclofenac sodium is a NSAID, which is also called as non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So act as an antipyretic, analgesic, and anti-inflammatory drug. So it is well absorbed when administered orally. So it has an immediate prostaglandin synthesis, and it has a powerful anti-inflammatory action besides its analgesic and antipyretic action. So next is pharmacokinetics. So onset of action orally 15 to 30 minutes, peak concentration 2 to 3 hours, plasma half-life is 1 to 2 hours, metabolized in liver, excreted in urine. So uses are the acute musculoskeletal disorders, sprains, bursitis, tendonitis, periarthritis, which is also called as frozen shoulder, and primary dysmenorrhea. Also, it is also used in low back pain, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, post-operative painful conditions like dental surgery pains, and also in gynecological painful and anti-inflammatory conditions. So also this has several side effects like blood dyscrasias and epistaxis, hearing loss, blood vision, nephrotoxicity, and dysuria, hematuria, uremia, purpura, rash, sweating, arrhythmia, alopecia, vomiting, nausea, anorexia, jaundice, cramps, dry mouth, peptic ulcers, gastrointestinal bleeding, and dizziness, drowsiness, and confusion, insomnia, and anxiety. So next is drug interactions. Diclofenac decreases antihypertensive actions of diuretics like beta blockers, and it also has an increased toxicity towards phenytoin digoxin, sulfonamides, and digoxin. Next is contraindication: hypersensitivity to NSAIDs like eczema, gastrointestinal disorders like cardiac disorders. Next is drug interactions. So increase action of digoxin, lithium increases action of oral anticoagulants. So next class is oxycam derivatives, in which first of all first drug is piroxicam. So it is a long-acting non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. It is effective antipyretic analgesic drug with anti-inflammatory properties. So peak concentration is reached in 2 hours, and piroxicam is metabolized in the liver and excreted in the urine. So piroxicam is used in the acute it is used in the acute musculoskeletal disorders, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and gout. So next is side effects: vomiting, nausea, anorexia, jaundice, dry mouth, cramps, diarrhea, drowsiness, dizziness, fatigue, insomnia, depression, headache, peripheral edema, and palpitation. Also, next is tachycardia, rash, purpura, sweating, nephrotoxicity, hematuria, hearing loss, blood vision, and blood dysresias will be there. Next is drug interaction. So increased action of sulfonamides and phenytoin warfarin. Next is contraindications. So hypersensitivity, pregnancy, asthma, lactation, hypertension, liver disease, kidney disease, and children below age 6 years. It is also contraindicated in the patients having heart disease and ulcers. So students, next class is indole derivatives, in which we will study about the indomethacin drug. So indomethacin is a strong NSAID. So I am repeating, NSAID is non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. So it acts as an antipyretic. It relieves inflammation of tissue injury related pain. So it is an odorless, tasteless, yellow brown crystalline powder. So it is also slightly soluble in water. Pharmacokinetics is oral onset of action is 1 hour. Peak plasma concentration 3 hour. Half-life is 1 to 1.5 hours. So metabolism of indomethacin is occurred in liver, excreted in urine, and indomethacin can cross the placental barrier, and it is excreted in breast milk. So uses of indomethacin are in the acute gouty arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, uh, which is not controlled by aspirin, ankylosing spondylitis, and Barrett's syndrome. So there are also some side effects of the indomethacin. First side effect is nephrotoxicity, hematuria, oliguria, vomiting, nausea, anorexia, diarrhea, flatulence, cramps, dry mouth, peptic ulcers, ulceration, perforation, drowsiness, dizziness, fatigue, insomnia, anxiety, depression, tachycardia, hypertension, rash, pruritus, sweating, hearing loss, blurred vision, tinnitus, and blood dyscrasias. Next is drug interaction. So it has an increased action of phenytoin sulfonamides, decreased action of triamphetamine, and it should not be administered with antacids. So next is contraindication, which is a hypersensitivity, asthma, renal disease, hepatic disease, ulcer disease, pregnancy and in lactation. Also next is miscellaneous drugs. First one is linezolid. So it is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug which acts as an antipyretic and analgesic, anti-inflammatory. So it is absorbed rapidly and completely when given orally. So uses are the osteoarthritis, low back pain, dental pain, ENT inflammation, rheumatoid arthritis, dysmenorrhea, musculoskeletal disorders. So side effects are vomiting, nausea, heartburn, epigastric pain, skin rash, pruritus, dizziness, headache. And contraindication are hypersensitivity, ulcer disease, hepatic disease, pregnancy and lactation. So next is ibuprofen, which is also called as Brufen. So students, ibuprofen is a synthetic drug. It was introduced in medicine in 1969, and it is used as antipyretic, analgesic, and anti-inflammatory. So it is administered orally. So its main action is it inhibits prostaglandin synthesis by decreasing enzyme secretions required for biosynthesis. So it acts as antipyretic, analgesic, and anti-inflammatory. So in case of pharmacokinetics, oral onset of action is 30 minutes, peak concentration is 1 to 2 hours, plasma half-life and 2 to 4 hours. So it is excreted in urine, metabolized in liver. So uses are the antipyretic, analgesic, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, dysmenorrhea, acute gout, dental pain, tooth extraction, postoperative and postpartum. So side effects are the vomiting, nausea, jaundice, dry mouth, cramps, purpura rash, sweating, blood, and contraindications are the hypersensitivity, asthma, active peptic ulcers, pregnancy, lactation, and renal disease and hepatic disease. So next is selective COX-2 inhibitors, which are also called as celecoxib. So it is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug which has COX-2, which is also called as cyclooxygenase 2 selectivity. So it is useful in the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis. So its uses are in the osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. So it also has several side effects which are abdominal pain, dyspepsia, headache, diarrhea, rhinitis, and sinusitis. And in case of drug action interactions, celecoxib with aspirin or other NSAIDs may increase occurrence of stomach and intestinal ulcers, and fluconazole increases concentration of celecoxib. In case of contraindication, hypersensitivity and children below 18-year age and having hepatic disease. So next is pericoxib. So it is an NSAID used for short-term treatment of postoperative pain. So it is a prodrug of valdecoxib. So it acts by inhibiting the cyclooxygenase 2 prostaglandin synthesis. So these are the short-term treatment of postoperative pain, and in contraindications are the hypersensitivity, pregnancy, lactation, coronary bypass graft surgery. And next is antipyretics. So the antipyretics are the drugs which reduces elevated body temperature. So the NSAIDs reduces body temperature in fever, which does not cause hypothermia. So they does not lower normal body temperature. So the antipyretics are not useful in fever due to heat stroke. So the external cooling lowers body temperature in case of heat stroke. So whereas they are effective for fever of any origin. So the drugs described as NSAIDs act as antipyretic, analgesic, and anti-inflammatory drugs. So students, in next lecture we will study about the anti-rheumatic drugs. That is all for the day. Thank you.